there to Sydney. I was watching the player who was down. We'll get the goal kicker there for you in a moment for the Sydney Swans. But a couple of back-to-back goals, and they extend the lead now to 15 points. Sydney 3-4-22, Gold Coast 1-1-7.
Sam Day looks like he'll start at this centre bounce in the ruck for the Suns. He played a bit there last week. In the second half, they moved him into the middle of the ground just to get a bit of the footy. And he's a really athletic player, super talented, and hopefully he can have an impact there in the middle up against a solid Swans ruckman there. Looks like it's Mumford, is it?
No, there'll still be the
yeah, thank you.
Hopefully the green vest that's still worn by Mumpy at the moment. We're starting the centre there for the Suns. He had Sam Day, Jared Brennan, Danny Stanley, along with Swallow. So obviously with the absence of Ablett and Carmichael, really putting a bit more test to the Suns midfield. Obviously with Gary gone, arguably the best player in the competition, so someone has to step up there, and Swallow and O'Meara look to be doing that a little bit. And I suppose with Carmichael Hunt out, we look at Danny Stanley, who's a big body and an enforcer there in the middle. As the Swans go forward, deep attack again, and through Bolton, finds up spots up the fellow veteran Adam Goods, and the two experienced Swans campaigners combine, and the first goal to Adam Goods tonight. And so the Swans get a bit of a break here, and the Suns be looking to reel that in. So Adam Goods kicks his first. The previous goal kicker, by the way, was Tony Armstrong, as the player was allowed to continue. I'm sure that's something that Bluey and the coaches will show to the players on the weekend. You just got to take your head off to the way the Swans structure up. They're so consistent in what they do, and just caught a little bit off guard there, the Suns' defence. And of course, Goods and Bolton, the only two Swans players making their debuts in the 90s. So obviously the elder statesmen, but both making their debut for Sydney in 1999, and certainly the eldest players on the park tonight. As Pike doing the ruck work up against Sam Day, so plenty of experience for Day tonight. Bit of ruck work experience. A chance beautifully trapped there by Martin, was it? As the ball from Stanley goes looking for Stevie May, as Jetta showing a bit of strength on that occasion. Good work there by Lonergan for the Suns, butted up. Sydney just showing that overall experience across that half back line to clear the ball away. Good fist in there from Broughton. Sees the ball down there to Jared Brennan, and he swings the ball on the left boot, and he finds Sam Day. Plenty to talk about Jared Brennan too in the pre-season, obviously benefiting from the Arizona experience. Yeah, he looks like it. He went away, obviously had a disappointing finish to the year, and Jared would be the first to admit that, but really regrouped, went away. He actually won the Best Trainers Award for the trip over in Arizona, and he's continued that. So Sydney getting a free kick there for out of bounds on the full, as the Suns obviously just trying to work at their targets up forward, Steve. Trying a few different combinations at the moment to see what they can do. But as we'll say throughout this broadcast tonight, it's pretty hard to penetrate that Swans defence. Has been for a long period of time. The Swans defence has been outstanding for at least a decade, if not even more. So certainly a good learning lesson for our young forwards. The way they transfer the ball from one end to the other on that occasion, Everett to McGlynn. The heavily tattooed on the left arm there in Jesse White. It's obviously the common vogue. A few Suns players like to bit of the paint as well, do they, Steve? There's a few. Luke Russell, but he keeps it behind the jumper, I should say, so you don't see too much of it. Mav Weller, sort of little sticker, but and Jared Brennan also. I noticed Harley Bennell had the facial hair last week, up until last week against Townsville. Maybe the heat got to him, had to take it off tonight. So the ball has ended up here with Kieran Jack. And even on the marks inside 50, this for 6 points. And what has the captain done for Sydney? He's put another one on the board. So after that first early goal by Gold Coast, it might have sparked the Swans into a bit of action. They might have appreciated that early pressure from the Gold Coast, Steve, because the Swans have answered back with 4 quick goals. They move to 5-4-34. Gold Coast Suns 1-1-7. We've played 14 minutes of the second term. And the coaching staff with their work cut out to try and stem this flow of goals at the moment. It's certainly been something that the coaches have been working on this pre-season. Obviously in times gone by, sides have just had 5-10 minutes of good football that's really been able to pile on the goals and puts us on the back foot. So that's something they'll be disappointed about. They've been working on all pre-season, but this is the time to understand how it's occurred and how we can fix it. Danny Stanley trying to put a stop to Josh Kenny there in the centre, but a good clearance here by Jared Brennan. Gets that long raking boot down towards the left forward line. And Grundy comes out to meet the ball and sees the ball over the boundary line, just beyond the 50-metre mark, as the ground well and truly covered by the lights here at Blacktown. 10 to 8 local time. And into this second term. Good crowd in attendance. Nice relaxed atmosphere. And seeing if the Swans can open their account for their first win in 2013. And of course the Suns looking for their second victory after of course defeating Hawthorn narrowly in their opening NAB Cup round, of course 2 weeks ago back at Metricon Stadium.
These two sides playing round 2. But they'll be both keen to have a good look at each other. No, we haven't played there yet, the Gold Coast Suns, so it's our first journey to the SCG.
Jude Bolton sends the Swans back into attack as Jesse White eludes Warnock, and running down the elusive Lewis Jetta takes the mark 15 metres out, or 20 metres out directly in front. And you can tell in our effects, Mike, the local Swans crowd pretty happy about it.
We've seen it a lot, haven't we, over the time? Lewis Jetta, very quick player, and put the pace on, and was found all alone in the 450.
Chance to kick his first goal for the NAB campaign this season, and he's offline though. Won't be too happy about that. Lewis, number 32, only a minor score. So Sydney moving on to 5-5-35. 28-point lead over the Gold Coast, 1-1-7. Biscatelli contests the mark. The Swans have the numbers at ground level. Good. No, a throw, said the umpire.
Really lucky there for the Suns. Wasn't the greatest of choices there by Tom Murphy.
From McGlynn on that occasion, perhaps as the offender, as Broughton presents himself there at centre half back. Now what can the Suns do? They need runners through the middle. Hands off there to the running Swallow. Needs to watch out from behind. He got the kick away though, looking there for Gorringe. Ball beats him. And over the back, the Swans defenders have the numbers, although Hanbury's under pressure there by Jared Brennan. But eventually Pike is the target on the right half-back flank. Standing the mark there, Sam Day. And the Canadian, he goes back there to LRT. Oh, risky kick. Oh, good spoil. No, just chopping with their hands there by Danny Stanley. So the Swans come away with the free kick, and a short kick it was at that to Reece Shaw.
The Swans class is really coming to the top here in the second. Look at the stat sheet. Jared McVeigh up to 14 disposals. Lewis Jetta to 13 and Josh Kennedy 11. Hanbury, who came on late, or halfway through during that first quarter, up to 10.
And the Swans, as I know, had a build from defence. Of course, their first, you mentioned the Suns are their round 2 opponent. Of course, round 1, it'll be against GWS Giants as far as Sydney is concerned. Kick off their defence of their premiership in 2013. As Wilkinson go back to fly to the ball. He punched the ball. Can he hold it? Ball getting a little slippery at the moment. Needs to get rid of it. He does. Has Thompson there for support. Likewise, Bennell. Short kick, and Aaron Hall takes the mark on this centre wing ahead of Everett. Running past to receive the handball is Bennell once again. But disappointing the coaching panel. Note about that. Not a target found as the Suns trying to get that forward attack moving.
Dan Gorringe and Stephen May really need to present there. Harley Bennell ran hard off the back line, and when he looked forward, there wasn't too much to kick to. So it was very difficult for him. He ended up heading towards the boundary, and unfortunately the Swans with the rebound.
White's kick for Sydney. Found a target out wide. That mark not paid though on that occasion. So Swallow brings the ball in turn to Armstrong. Kicked a goal early in the second term. Looks to go out wide to the dangerous Hanbury. Swings on the left boot. A beautiful pass on that occasion found Kieran Jack. And what will he do? Certainly seems to be relishing the role of co-captaincy announced during the week. Goes to the forward pocket. Bit of risky kick out. 4 Suns players to beat. But luck's a fortune there for McVeigh. Ball just fell into his lap from that spoil. And he had the snapshot at goal and hit the post. A minor score. Another behind to Sydney. 5-6-36. Gold Coast 1-1-7. Got Jared McVeigh down to the 3 behinds tonight. Certainly had a couple of snapshots. Ball close to the boundary line. enough pressure applied there by the Suns. Get the ball in play as Richards to Bolton to Grundy. Back to Hanbury. Long left foot kick. Wilkinson under pressure again. The ball just goes at the back of his hands. Good work though by Riscatelli. Read the play well off Wilkinson's hands on that occasion. Goes in short, looking there for Matera.
Dangerous kick there. Got to be very careful, the Suns, if they're going to move the ball inboard in the back half. Swallow
tunnels the ball back there to Riscatelli, a high up and under. With two players to beat there is Denny Stanley. And Hanbury does that with ease. And he gets the ball back there from a teammate, goes in short, and the mark taken by Ryan O'Keefe.
We hear Guy McKenna talk a lot about team cohesion, and the Sydney Swans are a great example of that. They've been together for a long period of time, and players that move into this side understand the structures and understand the team really well.
So the ball in the right forward pocket, and Tommy Murphy happy to see the ball over the line, with Sydney leading it by 29 points. 20.5 minutes played the second quarter. Just a reminder, Alex Johnson off for Sydney, so already used one of their substitutes. And of course, around the 20 rotations allowed, maximum of 80 throughout the match. As the kick goes in, and is that from Malcheski from outside 50, and gets a congratulatory tap from the fellow bearded one there in Reece Shaw. So, well, we all know what Nick Malcheski can do.
We do. We only have to go back to the grand final last year, Brandon.
I know, we had to mention it. Kicking the bookends goals for the Sydney Swans, and gets his first for the night. Right on the edge of 50 there. They move on to 6-6-42. Gold Coast 1-1-7. And Nick Malcheski off the sub as well gets the fifth goal for the second quarter tonight for the Sydney Swans.
Jared Brennan's moved forward now for the Suns. He's up there with Stephen May, Zach Smith into the ruck, with Prestia Matera and O'Meara in the middle.
So I wonder if Craig Bird has come off permanently there after going off with a head knock earlier this term. So Sydney forced to use two of their three subs so far before the first half is over. And he's running with the flop, the ball there, Andreas Everett over the outer side. It's amazing how often that play is off on the outer side, not the broadcast side, or one closest to it. Malcheski ends up with the ball again for Sydney. He's got his second goal in a minute. The number 9, the trusty left foot.
Heading back to the back line as well. It's something we haven't seen much of from the Suns, is his goal scorers off the half back line, and Nick Malcheski's been doing that for a little while now, and very successfully.
So it becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the night for Sydney, who move on to 7-6-48. And the Gold Coast Suns, a lot of work to do now, 1-1-7.
Just not getting their hands on the footy at the moment, Brownie, and they'll be disappointed about that. Look at the team disposals. Sydney have had 193 to the Suns 115, so their clearances too, the Swans 22-14.
Free kicks light at the moment, 9-7 in favour of the visitors, the Gold Coast Suns, as Jared Brennan's gone now into the forward line. There's the Brandon Matera with a clearance, and the ball just bouncing before Campbell Brown. Picked up though by Jager Amira, goes out wide, finds Bennell just outside 50. Now a leader goes to go himself, left foot kickling there for Brennan. Just over the head though of the number 3. Picked up by the opposite number 3 though, and McVeigh. And he goes out wide now for Sydney. And he's picking the ball up there is Sam Reid. Great tackle from behind by Rory Thompson. And he gets the free kick as well as the umpire pays advantage. Brennan couldn't quite trap the ball. Chance there once again for Sam Day. He couldn't do likewise. And the boundary throw to take place underneath the scoreboard, but showing a handy lead to Sydney.
Really evident.
Approach half time.
Really evident, Brownie, that when the Suns get the ball, they're trying to move it quickly. But just no success with it at the minute on the scoreboard.
As McGlynn tackles Aaron Hall for the ball. The ball ends up with Tony Armstrong for the home team. No, should have been taken there. Had time to recover though was Hanbury just before he got the kick away ahead of the tackle by Matera to Kieran Jack. Another left foot shot at goal. We've had Malcheski kick the last couple. And Jack on this occasion misses to the right hand side. So peppering the goals at the moment. Sydney here out of Blacktown International Sports Park. 7-7-49. Gold Coast 1-1-7. as Tommy Murphy elects to go to the outer side, but disappointed with that kick. Well, they're not taking the mark for Sydney, so damage could be limited here. Prestia tackles strongly to the ground. Sydney looking dangerous though. Bolton, McVeigh. Here's a standing start from just inside 50. And it brings up his fourth behind for the night. The number 3 for Sydney. So they bring up the half century here at Blacktown. 7-8-50. Gold Coast 1-1-7. Approaching half time.
If you look at the contested possession, the Swans have 65. Been renowned for a long period of time as being a hard team with the footy. The Suns with 59. So they won't be too disappointed with that. At least they're getting in there, putting their head over the footy and earning the ball. On
that occasion, the Suns decide to go the direct route. Zach Smith tapped it down to the centre, picked up by Campbell Brown, chases after his own kick ahead of Rampy. Aaron Hall goes in, but he's strongly tackled to the ground. And they were the leading tackling side, as you would expect last year, Sydney. I think they laid a record too in the amount of tackles in the grand final. And one of the chief protagonists there, Jude Bolton, laying the tackle. Good fist over the top there by Jager O'Meara. Towards Stanley. They're kicking inside. No, couldn't keep the ball in play as May was offering a target there in the forward line. So there'll be a boundary throw. We'll have a couple of special guests for you at the main break. Also go through your messages coming through on Twitter or Facebook. Remember the hashtag tonight, Ask Suns.
Michael Riscatelli's had 7 disposals, so he's got a bit more of the ball in this second term, which is good to see.
There's plenty of Suns there on the outer side, and the mark taken by Lonigan. And the recruit showing a bit of class there, gets around, trying to... Well, perhaps could have gone a bit harder to try and get that ball, but the ball just floating over his head. And the Swans defenders there, I'll take the mark. That small brigade of O'Keefe, Jack, and also Hanbury, creating a bit of havoc there at the moment for the Suns midfielders. As Armstrong has the ball in the stroke of half time, there it is. And as we mentioned, a promising start to the second term, where the Suns managed their first goal.
But it was all Swans after that, wasn't it, Brownie?
Yes, through Harley Bennell. So the Suns, a lot of work to do. No doubt Blue McKenna, the coaching staff, to talk about at half-time. Gold Coast 1-1-7. And Sydney Swans 7-8-50. Quickly the goal kickers. Nick Malcheski with 2 for Sydney. The rest are all singles, including Josh Kennedy, Kieran Jack, Tony Armstrong, Ben McGlynn and Adam Goods. And the sole goal kicker for the Gold Coast Suns there, Harley Bennell. So at half-time here at Blacktown International Sports Park, a 43-point lead to Sydney Swans. We're bringing this game on the Suns and the Swans TV with thanks to Fox Footy and the AFL. Second half coming up soon. This is the Little Big Song.
With no ad breaks, siren to siren. And with 24/7 coverage and analysis, you can take your footy smarts anywhere. So to get closer, choice is easy. Fox Footy, only on Foxtel.
Hi, my name's I'm 18 years old and I wear number 1 for the Gold. Starting a club, especially for kids, and I would love for you all to be a part of it. I'll send you regular emails, a poster, and we'll have plenty of fun along the way. And best of all, it's free to join. To sign up to my club, Jaggers, visit goldcoastfc.com.au/.
Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park here in Western Sydney with a handy lead to the home team. Sydney Swans 7-8-50, Gold Coast Suns 1-1-7. And as I mentioned, this match not broadcast on Suns TV, but a Swans TV as well. Manager Jonathan Manasso, and also, and how does this sound, Premiership player for the Sydney Swans, Mitch Morton. Welcome to the halftime break here, Mitch.
Thanks for having us.
How does that sound, Premiership player?
Oh, it's got a nice ring to it, I think. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to that great day in September, first of all, for you, and two crucial goals and the feeling, just the excitement playing in the grand final.
Yeah, obviously it was a great end to the year. It was a tough year for probably the first 7 or 18 weeks. Personally, I wasn't getting a game, but I stuck at it, and yeah, things turned around in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and yeah, to be out there grand final day and just play my role, and to kick a couple of goals was a bonus, but to be out there and play my role was just a great feeling. And
your role for the day, if you go to more specifics at all?
Oh, look, I was probably the front line of our pressure. I think it's hard for some of those guys who are 6'5" to be able to turn and get back on the ball sometimes. So sometimes you need someone who's 6 foot, 6'1" to be in there and be the front line of that pressure. And that's probably what my goal was for the finals, to be the front line of that pressure for our team. And that's all I tried to do. And anything else that happened was a bonus.
But of course, we get to this stage of the pre-season. Of course, September 2012 was now put behind you. So personally for yourself, how are you shaping up in 2013?
Look, I was going okay. I've had a bit of an issue the last 4 weeks with a back problem, but I've had 2 solid weeks of training now. So unfortunately missed out on the first 3 NABs. So I'll put my hand up next week, and obviously we'll wait and see what happens tonight. But yeah, whether I come back through the reserves or the seniors is out of my control. I'll just train as hard as I can this week, and we'll be back next week.
Mate, tell us about how the pre-season's gone so far for the boys. We've all come back a bit late given the grand final, but how's the pre-season been, I guess, after Christmas and start of January? Oh,
look, not a lot different to last year. I think, like last year, we sat down day one and went through some things that we did well last year. Obviously, we did a few premiership, but there's also some areas of improvement that we looked at. And we've looked to train them every session, and I think tonight we've seen a few of those things coming to fruition. I won't go into too much detail, but there's some things we're working on, and yeah, we just want to improve in those areas. That's how we're going to judge ourselves.
We've seen throughout the NAB Cup a couple of the young guys get a chance. We've had to bring in a few, get some game time into them tonight, but in the first couple of NAB Cup games we saw a few of the young boys. Who's impressed you out there in the early rounds?
I think it's probably been a little bit tough for the 17, 18, sorry, they're all 18 now, but the 18-year-olds, when they've come in, especially with the interchange cap, and look, the game's just so fast these days. It's probably taken them a little bit to get used to, but I think a couple of more mature age, Dane Rampy and Dean Town, which is in a day and age where so many guys get credit for just winning ones, and he's a joy to watch, really. He makes every possession his man gets very tough. I like watching him.
And what have you liked tonight, mate? What have you seen out there tonight? The boys have got a good half-time lead. Yeah, we've pretty much had control of the game, I thought, from the start. I think our intensity around the contest and our ability to get our hands on the ball's been fantastic, and it normally is in every game we play. But I think we struggled with our last kick inside 50 in the first quarter. But that quarter there, we seemed to find a few more avenues to goal. It's good to see Goodsy get on the scoreboard. But probably more importantly for us, the fact that we've restricted them to 2 shots in a half is what we're after. So
on him?
Not so much yet, not too sure. So we saw him go down and come off on the stretcher, so we'll find out a bit more after the game. But yes, certainly looks some sort of leg injury at the moment.
And did you use the other substitute as well, with Nick Malcheski coming on?
Yeah, I think Birdie came off with a bit of a blood nose, bit of a head knock. So
he's left off. He started where he left off, Malcheski. His first kick was a floater through the goals, like his 2 in the grand final. He reckons it spun perfectly, but neither of them have.
And Mitch, just recapping, so when are you hoping to be ready?
Yeah, look, I think I've 8 sessions in a row now, which is about the benchmark for what we have to do to play. So I'll be available next week. I've told Horse that. So whether I'm in the seniors or reserves, it doesn't matter. It's up to team balance, and that's their decision, but I'll be putting my hand up next week.
And a quick plug, Mitch, we've got a big day tomorrow at the SCG, 10 o'clock fan day. One of your favourite days of the year, no doubt.
We do, mate. I was on the best station last year. You had to guess how many footballs were in a VW Beetle. Not sure anyone guessed it. No, I'm not sure anyone guessed it. I could have had a million guesses, they wouldn't have got it. But no, it's a good day. We put on a really good show for all the fans, and get to see a couple of battlers like myself as well. So come down and yeah, lots of freebies, lots of fun, and we'll be there from 10 to 1, I think.
Spot on.
All right, thank you, Jonathan and Mitch, for joining us at half-time here at Blacktown.
Thanks for having us.
Good luck for the Swans, of course, for season 2013. Back with more special guests. It's a half-time break here at Blacktown International Sports Park with Sydney Swans leading the Gold Coast Suns. Don't forget that Twitter address, of course, hashtag AskSuns, and also include the @Golf. And, of course, a reminder about the efforts of the Gold Coast Suns with 21-3. Get those memberships in, of course, as we approach round 1 of the season. And a great start to the draw for the Gold Coast Suns. First game of St Kilda. Just putting his microphone back on there. But Steve, obviously, counting down to Easter Saturday night.
Yeah, big game there, round 1 at Metricon. I think the Easter holiday, so a lot of St Kilda fans will travel up to Metricon as well and enjoy the break. So season when the real deal starts, it's always exciting. We hope to get off to a good start.
Let's look at some of the stats for some of the Suns players up until half-time.
Yeah, not surprisingly, dominated a bit by the defenders. Rory Thompson's picked up 11 disposals, as has Jagger O'Meara. Harley Benner with 10, David Swallow, Tom Murphy, Greg Broughton with 9, and Michael Russatelli with 8. For the Swans, as we mentioned earlier during the coverage, Jared McVeigh, 18 disposals, Dan Hanbury, 18, which is a really good effort. With 14, Josh Kennedy, Tony Armstrong, and with 13, and Everett with 12.
All right, and of course, just a reminder, there's plenty to look forward to this year with, of course, 22 episodes of Suns TV being produced and broadcast each week prior to all. Gold Coast FC.com.au. Keep up with all latest news with the club, Steve.
First year of Suns TV on 7 Mate last year, and it was outstanding. We had some good feedback from right across Queensland, in particular when we went to Townsville last week for the NAB Cup. You wouldn't believe how many people follow the Suns through Suns TV. And again tonight, we're really pleased to be able to bring you tonight's game from Blacktown with Suns TV.
And just bringing it up to date, if you did miss the scores, although I'm sure if you are on the website, they won't be too far away from you. Matches played so far today. Richmond defeating Hawthorn by 1 point in Tasmania, 13-7-85. Hawthorn 13-6-84. Kick after the siren there for the Tigers, seeing them home. St Kilda too good for Melbourne by 25 points, 91-66. Matches in progress, and Fremantle comfortably in front of the Western Bulldogs at the moment. Late in the third quarter, 15-4-94 the Dockers are the Western Bulldogs 4-5-29. And the Brisbane Lions 7-10-52 lead Collingwood at Emery. Grand final next week, and Carlton, despite losing by that, Melbourne went down by 12 points to Geelong today. And neither Geelong nor North Melbourne could get through, but Carlton hanging on percentage. So Mick Malthouse through to his first grand final in new colours, Steve.
Could be, Mick. Well, he will be.
He will be. He's there.
He might be up against the old colours in Collingwood. So that might be a spoiler to round 2. I think they're meant to play, but the Brisbane Lions in front there, and we hope for our state rivals, and we work closely with the Brisbane Lions, so hopefully for them they can get up into the grand final.
Yes, what are we up to Q Clash this year?
Q Clash 5 it will be at Metricon Stadium. I think it is first up, I think it's about round 4 or 5. So we'll be hoping to balance out that ledger a little bit closer, so hopefully get the win up.
Yeah, so at the moment Brisbane Lions leading 52-33 over Collingwood, and of course later tonight West Coast Eagles hosting Port there in WA. Still a half-time break here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Back with the start of the third quarter in a few moments. Stick with us here on Suns TV as well as Swans TV.
and get closer to the game. This home and away season. Leave every celebration with no ad breaks, siren to siren. And with 24/7 coverage and analysis, you can take your footy smarts anywhere. So to get closer, choice is easy. Box Footy, only on Foxtel.
Hi, my name's Jago O'Meara. I'm 18 years old and I wear number 1 for the Gold Coast Suns. I'm starting a club, especially for kids, and I would love for you all to be a part of it. I'll send you regular emails, a poster, and we'll have plenty of fun along the way. And best of all, it's free to join. To sign up to my club, Jaggers Juniors, visit goldcoastfc.com.au/Jaggers Juniors. I'll see you at the footy.
What is this, mate? What is it?
Set to go Sunday afternoon, opening bounce.
The champ kicks another belter. Held his ground in front, put it into the path of Gary Ablett. Just to be alive.
First strike, Gold Coast. It's here as a penal, and it's over to Gary Ablett. He kicks it along. Campbell, Brown will take it. They are going to win. And Carlton's season is over. Just about over. The second win at home for the Gold Coast Suns. And they've made that sting as much as possible.
How you feeling, Gilbs?
That moment that's going to happen in your grand final when it comes, that contest that you need to win, it's going to start from this day going forward, and that's what they need to understand. You don't prepare for that moment the Friday or the Monday or the Wednesday before that game. You're preparing for that right now, and they need to understand that.
3, 2, 1, let's go, let's go. Good boys.
You guys are all basically guiding yourselves today.
On track now, set a good pace, get up and get out.
Everyone's having having a chat to the man inside their head. Wanting to stop, but we'll just have a little break here and then we'll go for the top.
76, 77, 78. One more lap, mate. Go, Tommy.
Everyone watched the grand final. Dan Hanbury going back with a flight. Everyone see that? That moment. It probably started in a pre-season. I have no doubt it did. So for you, your moment's coming.
Mountain after mountain. I'm not loving this at all.
Honestly, coming up here, that was physically the hardest thing I've ever done this whole camp. The last 2 years coming here, hardest thing I've ever done.
Take it right, keep going. Yeah. Fit as a manly bull. Put those compression garments on, mate. You'll be able to do it tomorrow.
Hey, reckon that I should just keep it on his head. Is that over, guys?
It's starting to like the camera. It does get a little awkward.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park on this website coverage of Sydney Swans and the Gold Coast Suns, with thanks to Fox Footy and the AFL, with Sydney Swans handy lead at half-time. Let's see what the Gold Coast Suns can do in this second half, as umpire Jason Armstrong has the ball and bounces into the Blacktown turf, and the Suns with the all-important first clearance here through O'Meara. But once again, the Swans applying plenty of pressure. Jared Brennan with the ball in front of him, and plenty of Swans on his hammer as well. One of them is Jude Bolton. He funnels the ball out there. Picked off there by Lewis Jetta. Looks to go backwards as the Swans going to attack. Roy Thompson goes up and takes a good defensive mark. Andrew Brown and Stephen Wilson, your commentators this evening here at Blacktown.
Ball's been down there a bit, Brownie, and Rory Thompson stepped up again tonight.
Absolutely. He gets the handball at the top here to Thomas Murphy. Now Bench kicks the ball outside defensive 50. And the mark taken out wide there by Riscatelli. Yes, it is. The acting skipper for. And in this third term, the Suns made a couple of changes, so I'll get to those in a moment. This time, though, the Swans going forward through Teddy Richards off a handball from Jude Bolton, and spots up Ryan O'Keefe. Back to Rampy. Rampy goes in short at centre half forward, and the mark taken by Josh Kennedy. So, Steve, the Suns make a couple of changes at half time, bringing on a couple of substitutes. Charlie Dixon and Kyle Horsley on.
Yes, and Dion Prestia, who the plan was coming into this game that he'd play the first half, and he's off, and also Zach Smith.
And starting on the bench on the third term for the Suns were Danny Stanley, Jack Martin and Kyle Horsley. And of course the Swans already activated their substitutes, two of them anyway, in Malcheski and also Hanbury, as the kick comes in. On that occasion, only a minor score there to Josh Kennedy, so he's kicked 1 goal, 1 so far tonight. First score of the second half going to the reigning premiers, and they're looking for their first win tonight. And the Suns trying to stem the tide at the moment, as Tommy Murphy takes the mark once again on the half back line, and the same thoroughfare as before, with Riscatelli taking the mark, and the play still on the outer wing here at Blacktown.
What we learnt last week in Townsville, Brandy, was that the never say die attitude. So, you know, there's obviously it's a big margin at the minute, but the boys should have confidence and belief that they're fit enough to compete at this level, and hopefully with the Swans making some changes early, obviously some subs there, that there might be an opportunity for the Suns to get a roll on here in the second half.
Yeah, the Suns kicked 7 out of the last 8 goals last week at Townsville. Jesse White's under the hammer there. Good bump laid there by Swallow, but White was able to keep his feet. Wilkinson goes up, And once again, electing to spoil. A couple of times, perhaps you think he perhaps should back himself and go for the mark a bit more often.
You'd think so, but I mean, we've seen a few players fumble it out there. It might be a little bit slippery, and Joel might understand that if he knows he's not going to mark
the double fist away to affect the spoil. The ball's gone out of bounds once again. So, I said, good relaxed crowd here at Blacktown on this Saturday night in Western Sydney. Of course, the Giants played last night in Canberra, and they were soundly beaten by Essendon. So the Swans and the Suns putting the show on tonight, week 3 of the NAB Cup. Of course, both these teams will still be in action next weekend. The final hit-outs before round 1 gets underway for both these teams on Easter Saturday. But Lewis Jetta now has the free kick. The mark's been set just inside the 50-metre mark as Jetta comes in. Kicked one behind so far in the match, and that kick looks a little bit straighter, is it? No, it just veers off the left-hand side at the last minute and through for another minor score. So 17 scoring shots have had at the moment at Sydney, 7-10-52. Gold Coast Suns 1-1-7. And with Charlie Dixon, was he lining up there at centre-half forward? Saw him before, Steve?
Yeah, he is at the minute, Charlie. Obviously, he played one game, I think, back in round 1 of the NAB Cup, but had a bit of a tight back and played last week for reserves in the NEFL against Aspley at Metricon Stadium. So, looking to get a big second half out of him here tonight.
And also on the forward line, we see Stephen May and Sam Day, Jared Brennan. Clearance. His kick went straight to Ben McGlynn, though. Sends the Swans back into attack. So more pressure there for the Suns defence to deal with. They do it well this time and gets plenty pats in the back there. Greg Broughton for that spoil.
Solid spoil there from Greg Broughton. That's probably what Joel Wilkinson needs to do, especially if he's going with 2 fists. Make sure he makes that spoil count.
How's Broughton settled in since moving from Fremantle?
Yeah, really well. He's, as we said, he's an experienced player.
As the Swans going to attack, and just the flight of the ball there, been unfortunate there for the Suns defence, and Adam Goods, a vast experience of his, able to read the play a little bit better, and takes the mark, and we'll have a set shot at goal at the northern end here at Blacktown, and to try and get his second goal of the night on the board, and he does so second half going to Sydney.
Yeah, Greg Broughton, as we were saying, he's been a valuable addition to the Suns team. Very experienced, and we do have a young back line when you look down there, so the addition of him and Murphy to help Matty Warnock out will be valuable for our side.
Hopefully you have another Suns guest up for you for the end of the game as well.
Yes, you never know. We've obviously with Prestia and Smith subbed off, we might be able to drag them upstairs to have a quick chat to our fans.
Yes, right on the centre wing position here. Good commentary position here at Blacktown as Daniel Gorrin's now into the ruck. Good tap down there to Jago O'Meara. Sends the ball forward. Chance here for Stephen May. He balances himself up. And now the ball picked up there by the Suns going into attack.
Kyle Horsley there.
That was Kyle Horsley having his first kick for the night since coming on, of course, as a substitute. So it's only a minor score, though, to young Kyle.
Been really good to see Jago O'Meara get amongst plenty of the ball tonight and in plenty of the play as well.
Jack Martin trying to spoil Ben McGlynn from behind. McGlynn showing a bit of courage and good bump late on attack there by Riscatelli. Forced the turnover. Broughton comes in. Another possession. Just keeps the ball inside the boundary line. And Jared Brennan will hand the ball back to the boundary umpire.
Michael Riscatelli, first game back, he's had 10 disposals, which is good for Risca. Captain in the side tonight.
In the absence of Gary Ablett, Carmichael Hunt, a couple of others. So a good test for these young Suns players, giving away a couple of years in overall average age experience.
Great opportunity for Joel Wilkinson to play on Adam Goods down in deep back.
Absolutely. As the Suns move forward, though, put a spoil there by Jesse White. Gets the ball back to Malcheski. Foot shots at goal. It's going to be so dangerous that. And at this time it veers to the wrong side of the post once again. So after kicking 2 goals within a space of a minute in that second term, this one's only a minor score. So Sydney move on to 8-11-59. Gold Coast Suns 1-2-8. 8 minutes gone in the third quarter. As Warnock elects the barrel. Good work there by Martin, pushing off more experienced opponent there to try and take the mark. A couple of Swans players run into each other there. One of them there was Parker. Bennell ready to lay a strong tackle on Armstrong on the centre wing. and both players wrestle the ball to the ground, and the umpire will come in and bounce it down.
Better intensity there from the Suns. Jack Martin led the way. Harley Bennell and Jager O'Meara.
Any word from the room to the message to the Suns players at half-time, Steve?
Didn't get down there, Brownie.
It wasn't reverberating loud enough there from Guy McKenna.
Didn't think I'd stick my head in down there at half-time.
As Armstrong spots up Reece Shaw in the centre of the ground here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It is a certainly impressive precinct out here in Western Sydney, as Wilkinson showing his tackling ability, putting Jules Bolton under pressure, and sends the ball out of bounds. As the Suns, Dixon, May and Day, along with Lonergan up there in that forward line, trying to provide the forward targets to try and score this turn the scoring around there for the Gold Coast. Umpire picks out a free kick though. Goes to strongly built Jesse White. Of course, perhaps might have been going to Adelaide, but stopping here in Sydney. And certainly giving an example of what he's capable of the last couple of weeks, showing a bit of form. Danny Stanley picks up the ball for the Gold Coast, sends the ball out of bounds. Trying to look there for Dan Gorringe. And the ball beats both players out of bounds for another throw-in underneath the scoreboard.
Spoken a lot about Jack Martin tonight. He's showed in glimpses what he's going to be capable of come 2014. But what a great experience, as we said, to play against the Sydney Swans, the running premiers. And I'm sure if we spoke to him after the game, he'd be able to tell you exactly what he learnt out there tonight.
Stanley, quick hands there to Wilkinson, got the kick away. Nicely picked up there by, also in the centre, over to Bennell. Support from Aaron Hall on his outside to Swallow. Campbell under pressure. Now here's Lonergan. What can the Tassie boy do here? He should have a shot at goal. No, unselfish play and good vision. The mark unfortunately dropped there by May in the left forward pocket. Gets the ball away, looking for Dixon. But perhaps should end up better on the Gold Coast that occasion. Only a minor score once again.
Good vision there from Jesse. Unfortunately, Steve May couldn't stick the mark.
What the coaching panel be saying to him? Perhaps could have backed himself, or he tried to do the right thing. And
yeah, it was good vision. He probably was within range there for Jesse. We've seen him kicking from there at training, so he could have kicked that goal.
As the Swans with the slow build-up out of their defence. Parker, and a good kick from the two teams at the moment. Finds Reece Shaw out wide there as Jared McVeigh about to run onto it. Stanley hot in his hammer. What can McVeigh do with it? He keeps the ball in play. Goods is there to help out as well. Gets around Tommy Murphy as freakish snapshot at goal. Is that Jude Bolton? Now getting involved as well. And he gets his first for the night. Another individual goal kicker for Sydney. And they extend the lead. They're 9-11-65. Gold Coast Suns at 1-3-9. Right foot snapshot from the forward pocket.
Seen a bit of that, haven't we, Brownie?
Yes.
The Swans.
At the 11.5 minute mark here at Blacktown in the third quarter.
Dixon's going to move into ruck for this centre bounce by the look of it. He's a really aggressive ruckman. Probably a little bit different to Zach, who's the athletic, tall jumping ruckman, but Charlie really goes in there, throws his head over the ball and works really hard.
So Sydney Swans with the inclusion of 8 premiership players in the team tonight from the team that played St Kilda last week. Over to Bennell and turn to Matera. Matera looking for Dan Gorringe, had the front position ahead of Malcheski. Kicked 2 goals tonight. Now working hard across that back line. Ball ends up with Rampy. Now Bennell can come in for the Gold Coast. Over the top. Free play there was Gorringe. Tried to tap the ball down. Do the right thing to Matera. May's also involved. And Bennell happy to see the ball over the boundary line. Of course, the Suns announcing a few re-signings throughout the week. Most of the list re-signed up until the end of 2014. Just a few signatures to go. Bennell met solidly hard off the ball there. Picked up by Wilkinson. Sends the ball forward, looking for Jack Martin. What can he do on that right foot on this occasion, the Western Australian? Good pass. Bennell showed courage to get the free kick as well. Hope Bennell's okay. He was met solidly low. Get the free kick. And Harley will try and go back and kick the Suns' second goal of the night. It will be his second as well.
Bit of class there from Jack Martin, the youngest player out on the field tonight, but all class and a good mark there by Harley Bennell.
Yes, as we've been speaking about, 17-year-old can play the seniors in the NAB Cup, but then will revert to the reserves and the NEPA competition for the remainder of the year. And unselfish play there by Harley Burnell, finding Campbell Brown in the left forward pocket. And Brownie kicking 3 goals so far in the NAB Cup competition. First 2 weeks, including 2 goals last week against North Melbourne. Looking for his first tonight and has split the middle and brings up his first and the Suns' second. And a warm applause there in the background as well for the Gold Coast, which is good to see. A few Hardy supporters out there. 2-3-15. And trial the Sydney Swans, who are 9-11-65. We've played almost 14 minutes of the third quarter.
As we touched on, a bit of class there from Martin off to Bennell. So that's what the Suns fans will be looking forward to seeing plenty more in the years to come. A couple of exciting players in the competition, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about them in the next 5 to 10 years.
Swallow coming off the bench straight into the middle to help out Kyle Horsley's in at the moment, along with looks like Jago Mira. And doing the ruck work, Charlie Dixon. As Dixon up against the Canadian there in Pike. Ball just bounces off Swallow. Parker taken a little high. The number 26 for Sydney will take the free kick. Sends the Swans deep into attack. Brought with the front position and did well there. Take a strong mark under a lot of pressure from the Sydney Swans forwards. So Broughton brings the ball across to Warnock. And we'll see plenty of that combination, no doubt, this season across the last line of defence for the Suns, Steve.
Certainly will. Matty Warnock really solid last year. Came running home in the best and fairest, and was a rock down there, and during some difficult times as well.
So Riscatelli, in turn to Lonigan, clash of bodies down the centre wing, and pouncing on it is Charlie Dixon. Now a chance, Stephen May reads the ball at the back of the pack. He's got Gorringe in there for support, but the ball just didn't quite bounce the right way. The experience of Grundy for Sydney, and the Swans once again see themselves out of trouble. Malcheski under pressure as he kicked it, and a free kick will go against the Suns. Free kick taken by Everett further down the field.
Swans have made their final substitution.
Okay.
Adam Goods has come off and Mumford on.
So a very light run for Adam Goods tonight. Of course, entering his 15th season. So Shane Mumford has come on. So they're using 2 big men tonight in Mumford and Pike. Ball in the centre. Good mark taken by Bolton. Quickly to Parker. Put wide under pressure. Good tackle by Riscatelli. Forces the Swans backwards. Grundy in turn to LRT, that's Lewis Roberts Thompson, over to Reece Shaw and Jetta. Taking the mark for Sydney now on the outer wing and slows things down, waiting for his forwards to come up and present themselves further up the field. They do so through McGlynn. And close checking here from the Suns. McVeigh now has the ball. 4 behind so far tonight though for Sydney. A few snapshots. And good work by Jack Martin. He's certainly impressive. The territory is covering the way he reads the ball there, Steve.
Yeah, we've spoken about it a lot. He's an elite young player, but smart reader of the ball, and put himself in the right position there. And a strong mark too by Sam Day.
And enjoying life from the Gold Coast, Jack Martin?
Yeah, I think so. His father, Chris, has moved over for a little bit. So just to help him out, it's obviously a big move from Broome over to the Gold Coast, the other side of the country. But he's settled in really well, and he's made a great impression on the players, the work rate that he's been able to put in. Chance for the Gold Coast Suns now. Charlie Dixon from just inside the centre square, bombs away. Campbell Brown looks back. I'd say a couple of words to him at three-quarter time. Was on the lead there, but a good healthy roost there from Charlie, but only brings up the minor score there for the visitors. They centre this ball, and Campbell Brown's taken the mark. About 20 metres out. Kicked a goal a few minutes ago in the third term, so looking to bring up back-to-back goals for Campbell Brown. And, of course, be relishing this experience. Unfortunately, he's got a sit out the first 6 weeks. Certainly does. So he's got 6 weeks on the sidelines after last year, but I think during that time off he'll be obviously working hard, but he's also got a little runner that goes okay, that's trained by Gay Waterhouse in Sweet Idea, that looks like it'll run the Golden Slipper, so that'll keep him occupied, I'm sure. Will do, and he makes no mistake too, Campbell Brown. So for the second consecutive week, kicking 2 goals, this time 2 goals in the third quarter here at Blacktown, and that progresses the Suns score into 3-4-22. Trail by 43 points. Sydney Swans 9-11-65. We play almost 18.5 minutes of the third quarter.
Andrew Brown and Stephen Wilson in the commentary box for you for Suns TV here, with thanks to Fox Footy and the AFL as well, bringing this match on the website tonight.
Suns look like they're making a change here. Mavwell has come onto the ground. Campbell Brown has come off, so he might be the man that's going to sit out the rest of the game. So kick 2 goals, and that's what happens to you.
So just on the phone now to the coaching panel. Currently we have Rory Thompson and Stephen May also on the bench. So a bit more of the small brigade, obviously, perhaps required by the Gold Coast Suns coaching machine at the moment. Kyle Horsley sends the Suns forward once again. We mentioned they kicked 7 out of the last 8 goals last week against Townsville. I'll be hoping to do the same here tonight at Blacktown. But a bit harder to do against the reigning premiers. O'Keefe gets the clearing kick out wide, looking here for Sam Reid. Hotly pressured though by Wilkinson. Matera bumps his opponent off the ball on that occasion, and Josh Kennedy. So the Suns maintaining possession here. Stanley, left foot kick on the boundary line. Going up high for the mark there is Sam Day. The ball not out of bounds yet. What can he do with it? He's in fact corralled over the line eventually by Andreas Everett.
Solid challenge there from Sam Day up forward. That's what the Suns coaching staff would want to see. A really good contest.
So late in the third quarter, another scoring opportunity here for the Gold Coast as Dixon and Pike do battle there in the ruck. Ball push forward. Everett over to McVeigh. High up and under. In front there was Stanley, or Brennan was caught high, I thought, on that occasion. Umpire called play on. A Swallow was dumped as well. So a couple of very heavy exchanges. And the more experienced bodies of Sydney get the ball away. Although Rampy looked away before acceptances on that occasion, allowed Stanley. So good work there by Danny to get the Suns back into attack, eventually through Matera. As Sam Day over to Swallow. Swallow runs into the open goal. Right foot kick. Bennell goes up high. And only through for a minor score.
He'd be disappointed with that, David. He probably should have kicked that goal. A bit more patience and he would have drilled that.
He actually perhaps the opportunity to run a bit further. So 3-5-23 the Suns move on to. The Sydney Swans 9-11-65, approaching three-quarter time. Warm applause there for Danny Hanbury. Getting the mark down the half-back line. Standing the mark, the opposite number 4 in Mav Weller, who has just come on, replaced the green jersey, I should say, green vest, the substitute's vest.
It was Campbell Brown that came off, just for those wondering. So 2 goals and sitting out the rest of tonight's game.
Boundary throw in takes place. Dixon up against Pike, and the ball once again has gone out of bounds. I'd like to hear more of your messages via Twitter and also Facebook. Get those to you when we can. Offering support for the Suns tonight. As Mav Weller breaks the tackle, did well, and good vision out wide by hand to Horsley and turn to O'Meara. With 2 to beat though, Day goes up. Was he held? He does, and he gets the free kick. So good work there. In fact, it's Dan Gorringe standing in between the Swans defenders, and Dan Gorringe will take the free kick.
He's a decent sized player, as you can see on screen, Dan Gorringe. Big, tall, athletic player, strong, and dare I say it, generally a good kick.
Don't put the moz on him, do we, Steve? We're right behind the kick here. Will it come back? And it just faded to the wrong side of the goalpost. So through for a minor score. But showing a lot more attack and vigour in this third quarter, which they obviously needed to, after a disappointing end to the second term. But look, they started slowly against North Melbourne to learn from that. So let's try to work their way into the game.
Well, that's what they're designed for, these NAB Cup matches, is the opportunity to really drill down on your game heading into the 2013 season. And there's no waste of time out here tonight. We can certainly get a lot out of this, the remaining part of this third quarter and also the last quarter.
Good question there by Danny Stanley, putting a bit of pressure on the veteran Jude Bolton. You could see there that Bolton didn't like it too much, so getting under his skin on that occasion. The number
He's certainly got plenty of the ball, probably feeling more comfortable out there at the elite level.
As Tony Armstrong brings the ball away there for Sydney, finds Kennedy, Malcheski. He too gets the ball away. As the Suns defence under pressure now. And good work there. Is that
Jesse Lonigan there?
Jesse Lonigan.
Got a free kick there to May, but anyway.
Got the ball away as Bennell trying to get the ball on the Suns attacking zone on that occasion. Good tackle laid by Stephen May on Ryan O'Keefe. And once again, those little 1%ers on that occasion by Harley Bennell forcing the ball out of bounds, as perhaps Sydney could have got away there. It's onto the forward line once again.
The last 10 minutes for the Suns has been a lot more promising. David Swallow just comes off for a rest and Brandon Matera on. It'll be fantastic game time for Brandon.
As Kyle Horsley got the clearance away, but only as far as Reece Shaw. And Grundy comes up from the defence. Has the ball in the centre here at Blacktown over to Armstrong. And his kick couldn't quite reach the target. A chance here for Stanley. Get the ball in the centre. A chance now for Brandon Matera. Looks ahead. He's only got Jack Martin there as a solitary target. And Martin dives on the Blacktown turf. Couldn't quite keep it in. And the Swans I should say, can recover through Shaw. And turn to Armstrong. And now Jesse White takes the mark on the centre wing. So a couple of promising build-ups there. Just need to convert.
Getting a bit more of the ball in this latter part of the third quarter. It's really important. We can learn from the mistakes made earlier in the game.
So Sydney, Kennedy, he's ridden into the ground. And the umpire said too high. And the free kick there to Kennedy. Immediately plays on. Kyle Horsley bumping him just as he kicks it, and the play going for the mark there is Pike, but it had already gone through for a minor score. And right on the stroke of three-quarter time, the Sydney Swans maintain that handy lead. They lead by 42 points at the final break, 9-12-66. Gold Coast Suns are 3-6-24. And for the home team, 2 goals each to Nick Malcheski and Adam Goods. Adam Goods, of course, coming up for the break. Singles there to Josh Kennedy, Kieran Jack, Tony Armstrong, Ben McGlynn, Jude Bolton. And for the Suns, 2 goals to Campbell Brown and 1 to Harley Bennell. So final quarter coming up here on Suns at Swans TV. It's the Swans leading by 42 points in the final break.
Put up with what you have or demand better with Fox Footy and get closer to the game. With your team live every round this home and away season. Live every celebration with no ad breaks, siren to siren. And with 24/7 coverage and analysis, you can take your footy smarts anywhere. So to get closer, choice is easy. Fox Footy, only on Foxtel.
Well, at half-time we heard from the Sydney Swans. Now it's the Gold Coast Suns on this occasion. And joining us now in the commentary box at three-quarter time, football manager Marcus Croft. Welcome to the commentary box,
Hello,
Marcus.
Bernie. How you going, mate? That last quarter, as we're seeing, I think our boys really did fight it out, competed well, were able to get one, which I think helped us get back in the game. And we know the Swans are an elite kicking side, and by then having a spare man behind the ball, they were able to, I guess, get through our guys' defence and score easily. So we've been able to rectify that. The challenge is now for our guys to finish off in the last quarter.
And obviously try and repeat what did last week and come home with a wet sail.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think what we just need is an honest effort for the last 30-odd minutes to see if we can replicate a little bit of what happened that quarter. And then hopefully going forward we get a bit lucky and we're able to put a score on the board, because I think inside 50s that quarter were in our favour. Goals, we just missed a few. But I think it really starts in the centre bounce with Charlie. Get some momentum forward at 4-50, which will give us a chance to...
Guys, up there tonight?
Yeah, we have. We went with 3 talls early on. Then we went with 4 smaller players to try and mix it up. Campbell Brown's, as you've seen, has been subbed, and we've given Mav Weller a chance to play that small forward leading target up forward. So hopefully with Mav coming on fresh, he'll give us a target and also be able to give some defensive pressure. That might be a chance to put a score on the board in the last quarter.
Look at the scoreboard. I think 7 of the last 9 scoring shots for the Suns, so certainly hitting the scoreboard. Jack Martin's been really impressive tonight, so has Jager O'Meara. Got plenty of the ball. You must be really happy with that.
Yeah, no, Dad, I think Jack's had an outstanding NAB Cup series in 2013. All of the games he's played, this is his 4th game, he's been a standout contributor for our team, so we're really happy the way he's going. And Jager, he's worked himself ragged again tonight, and I think he's been rewarded with some high.
Look at this, and 350. Go down and contest 97 to 95. Although they've had too much of the ball, the Swans, you'd be the first to admit that. You must be happy that at least a contested possession, the boys are putting over their head over the footy and trying to win that hard ball. Yeah, that's our starting point, is being able to win the hard contested footy and also our tackling. And to play against the Swans, who are very good in that area, and they're obviously the reigning premiers, it is a positive out of the night. So the challenge for the last quarter is to make sure we can maintain that and hopefully get on top.
And looking forward to a resurgence from the Gold Coast Suns in this final quarter, like they did against Townsville last week. But of course, not easy playing back-to-back away games, that's for sure, and coming off the humidity of Townsville. And the Swans are the first ones into attack, as laying the ball in front of there, Jude Bolton. Oh, great tackle though by David Swallow, picked up by O'Meara. He turned, was looking for Harley Burnell, but the Swans able to chop off that avenue. This time O'Keefe kicked the ball down forward, and Rory Thompson up against Mumford. There looks like Mumford playing a forward role for Sydney, picked up there by Rory Thompson.
Brownie, you've seen a lot of the Suns over the first 2 years in the competition. Did you see them being more stronger over the ball and also stronger tackling side tonight?
Well, it's natural progression too as the players get stronger with more pre-seasons under their belt. So certainly you'd be hoping for natural progression. Stephen May, there's one for the highlights reels. Took advantage. He took a spectacular mark on the centre wing. Quick left foot kick. That's a lot better from the Gold Coast. And finds Sam Day able to hold the mark in front of him on that occasion. So huge leap there by Stephen May. That's what he can do. But that's the Sydney Swans can so quickly get the numbers back. So it's forced the Suns a different avenue to goal. Riscatelli, and a pinpoint pass there to Mav Weller. Swallow from outside 50 has a shot at goal. Still a chance here for the Gold Coast. Malcheski's there. The ball at ground level. Martin's close to the goal line. Keeps the ball in play. Bit of magic there. Eluded a couple of players. Just smothered the kick though when he tried to get the ball through. And certainly Sydney under plenty of pressure now at the moment for the Gold Coast forwards.
He was elusive, wasn't he, Brownie, there, Jack Martin?
Very slippery indeed there across that goal line, but the ball thrown up there on the umpire on that occasion. But Sydney once again with that clearance, this time by the ever-present Malcheski, and they can't get the ball in play. That time from Sam Reid, so there'll be a boundary throw in. But early attacking move there by the Gold Coast Suns, who trail by 42 points, early stages of the final term, with thanks to the AFL and Fox Footy here on the website, Suns TV.
Unfortunately there, it looks like Jared Brennan, his third man up, has knocked the ball over the boundary line on the full. So the umpire's just conferring here whether that'll be a free kick to the Swans or another boundary throw-in. Boundary throw-in, the end result.
Just a reminder, Carlton already through to the NAB Cup Grand Final. Get that final score from Etihad Stadium for you shortly, between Brisbane and Collingwood, to see who'll be playing off next Saturday night in Melbourne. From the boundary throw-in, still on the Suns half-forward line, kicking towards the northern end in this final term. Horsley in front of his opponent, beaten to it though by an extra couple of Swans running through. Jared Bennon's had a hard task now to try and chase down Lewis Jetta, who just kept on running. Wilkinson kept his eye on the ball, he did well, although the ball just eludes him and Jared McVeigh at the moment. And the ball goes out of bounds 40 metres around from the Swans goal. So at that match at Etihad tonight, and looks like Brisbane Lions the handy lead. The score in front of me, Steve, they lead by about 30 odd points over Collingwood.
So it's just refreshing at the moment, so we'll keep you updated on that very quickly.
And so Mick Malthouse might not have to coach against his old team as the Suns move forward there through Stephen May. Now what can Martin do? He had two to beat. He tried to keep the ball in that forward zone well. But once again, there's more experience of the Sydney Swans opponents. Happy to see the ball outside their defensive 50 zone. Jetta is there, trailing the ball in front of him. on that occasion was McGlynn. And a free kick being paid to advantage go to the Gold Coast. So Brennan from outside 50. He does spot up Martin out the top of the square. Front and square there was Riscatelli. The ball just eludes him. Lewis Roberts Thompson ducked the head, got the ball,
he was
picked
looking
the ball
for the
up.
tackle there.
He was looking for the tackle and the ball held to him. So at least the Gold Coast Suns can retain possession there just in front of their goal. It's only 20 metres out. On a nice balmy night in Western Sydney here at Blacktown. So from the disappointing their clearance has allowed Sydney to get the ball away easily. Murphy going back to fly to the ball, couldn't quite hold it. Going there to help there is Joel Wilkinson. He was strongly tackled there by Ryan O'Keefe. Murphy though recovered as Weller sends the ball there, looking there towards Jago O'Meara, and the ball beats all comers over the boundary line. So no addition here at this stage to the three-quarter time score. Sydney still showing the way by 42 points, 66 to 24. Now a chance once again for the Gold Coast. May there try to intercept that handball, but Lewis Roberts Thompson sends the ball away outside defensive 50. Good work by Greg Broughton, the former Docker. He can go all the way if he wants to. A little bit underside at the end, and in the end he kicked the ball up and under. Almost done a mirror mark there in the left forward pocket. Players just dive on top of him. As the ball comes out towards the Aaron Hall direction. Picked up by once again by Broughton. Ball goes in after it again. Sydney though with the numbers around the ball. Parker then turn to McGlynn. McGlynn shakes off his pursuers. Kicks the ball up towards the wing. Mumford against Thompson. Thompson brings the ball down to the ground. Eludes a tackle of McGlynn. Went inside to Warnock. So good combination work there by Gold Coast, and Horsley settles the ball down and sends the ball back there to half-back line to Thomas Murphy. Dangerous kick towards the centre. Gorringe, the second attempt, took the mark. Now they've got the runners out wide. Here's a chance here for Lonergan. Gets around his opponent. Goes further afield. And the kick inside and not finishing the way that Guy McKenna would have on that occasion.
Yeah, disappointing finish there. I think it might have been Michael Riscatelli there and the outer wing.
It's amazing how much plays there on that outer wing.
Very difficult to see from our position there, Brownie.
But hope you're enjoying the coverage on the website tonight. With thanks once again to Fox Footy and the AFL. As now the Swans look dangerous. They find a bit of open space in their forward line. Unselfish play there from Kieran Jack. And the two co-captains combining there for Sydney. And the mark's been taken by Jared McVeigh. And he will have a set shot from goal from just inside the 50. So far kicking 4 behinds tonight. He's had mainly snapshots, but a chance for a set shot at goal for the number 3.
Something the Suns haven't been able to do tonight is he's moved the ball fluently to their forward line and find numbers inside 50.
So McVeigh, and I think he's off target again here. He looks around in disbelief. So brings up the 5th behind for the number 3, but it's the first score of the final term. 9-13-67, and the Suns 3-6-24. Really, Suns looking forward to a late rush of goals here, as a bit of miscommunication there between Broughton and May. Luckily one of them able to touch the ball. The ball now for a throw in. Putting support in the grandstand here at Blacktown. Of course, week 3 of the NAB Cup. And these two teams still involved next week. Where are the Suns looking at playing next week, Steve, for the supporters there listening through Suns TV?
Yeah, look, the AFL will announce it obviously after this final round of NAB Cup matches. There'll be the NAB Cup Grand Final, which I think will be between Brisbane and Carlton at Etihad Stadium. But we're hoping that we'll play a game up in southeast Queensland, and at this stage it's looking at might be at Southport. So if you stay tuned to goldcoastfc.com.au, we'll have all the details there as soon as that game's announced. As
Swallow had a devil of a time trying to keep the ball trailing in front of him on that occasion. McGlynn's in there for Sydney. The ball close to the Sydney Swans goal. Kick away there was the Suns defence. They bring the ball out. Past defence at 50 now. As the Swans try and apply a bit of pressure. And the ball will be once again thrown in front of the interchange area, where Harley... Jack Martin taking a well-deserved break there at the moment. as the throw-in takes place. Picked up here by Jude Bolton. Sends the Swans into attack. I thought Thompson might have been held. Umpire called play on. And once again, the boundary umpire required to do the work as Briscatelli takes a break and Jack Martin comes on.
Just looking at a few of the stats here, and we'll start off, look at the worm there and the margins, and Marcus Ashcroft touched on it at three-quarter time. It really was only a period there during the second quarter where the Swans really kicked away for the majority of the first quarter, and indeed the third quarter. This game's been fairly even, although it might have been scrappy at times, but it's another area, it's a period of the game where the Suns have let themselves down, and that's why there's the big margin here tonight. It's a brief period of concentration that the Suns have lacked.
So Burnell and Brennan combined on the outer half-back flank, looking for Aaron Hall further up the field, but good spoiling tactics there by Sydney, and Brandon Matera couldn't keep the ball in. So this time the play has transferred to the outer wing.
Jared McVeigh's picked up 30 disposals now for the Swans. He's a possession leader here on the ground. Josh Kennedy with 23, Jetta and Hanbury and Grundy also with 23. 20 disposals there for Jager O'Meara. Good tackle there by Sam Day on Lewis Roberts Thompson. Coming through hard there was Charlie Dixon. Could have got a free kick there as well, as held without the ball. Wilkinson to Lonigan. And the Tassie boys tries to maul the ball forward. And now there'll be a bounce right on the edge of the centre square. That's what the Suns coaches like there from Charlie Dixon. Nice and strong over the footy. And although he didn't win it forward on this occasion, he was fairly strong. Jack Martin there, third man up. He's got a leap on him as well.
As Martin goes down. Stays down there for the moment. Hopefully he's not hurt. Keep an eye for the moment, Steve. Probably just a bit of cramp. As McVeigh breaks the lines. And Sam Reid couldn't hold the mark though. Allows Wilkinson in. Under pressure. Got the handball away there to Dan Gorringe. Just short of the centre circle. Over to Weller. Disappointing kick there by Weller on that occasion. As Dixon was on the lead. But went to the wrong man. Went to the number 25, Teddy Richards for Sydney. Xavier Richards played last week but not playing this week for the Swans. As Jude Bolton takes the mark at centre half back. Or fumble there by the Swans defence. And there's Jared Brennan in. Brennan from just inside 50. Can he split the middle? He does. And Jared Brennan, reading the play there well, capitalise on the Swans' mistake. And the Suns pick up their fourth goal of the night. 4 goals, 6-30. And Sydney 9-13, 67. Margin of 37 points. We've played 11.5 minutes of the final term.
Suns well and truly in the play here in the last quarter, making an impact on the scoreboard. Margin at 37 points. Hopefully we'll be able to score another couple of goals before the end of play here tonight.
So Jared Brennan kicking a goal in each of the 3 weeks so far of the NAB Cup, and certainly the Suns fans would like to see him kick plenty of goals in this season. So he might be used a bit of a forward role, midfield forward role, seeking down forward. And certainly he can be a dangerous player. Hard to believe he's been 10 years in the system now, Jared Brennan. I remember that first night, his first senior game
against Collingwood, was it?
Collingwood, the Brisbane Lions, and it certainly was a magnificent night, and certainly had a very good pre-season as far as the Suns are concerned, and hopefully he can kick plenty of goals for the Gold Coast this season. The ball now in the Swans forward line. That's why the umpire called play on was McVeigh, and now he's been pinged for it. So good work there by the Gold Coast defence.
Of course, we've spoken a bit tonight about Gary Ablett and Carmichael Hunt not being there for the Suns. Tom Lynch is also out. He'll be out for quite a few weeks now with a foot injury. Unfortunately, he rolled his ankle in the last quarter there against Brisbane. So Tom Lynch will be out for a while, as will Trent McKenzie, as he builds his program back after knee injury. Of course, Nathan Bock coming back from that horrific broken leg. He's coming along slowly, and they'll be patient with Nathan because it's important that he gets it back and gets his leg right. And also Seb Tate coming back from that knee reconstruction. Going all along well with Seb. He's just building that strength back, and hopefully we'll see him in the early to mid part of the season.
So after a scrappy bit of play, a free kick here to the Suns. Hall goes up, and the ball beats all players, and certainly Jager O'Meara feeling the effects of a hard night tonight. He's coming off for a well-earned rest. And Jack Martin getting treatment on his legs as well down the interchange bench. Kick away there by Josh Kennedy in the clinches. sending the Swans forward. Jude Bolton is there. Quick kick away. Now a chance here for Swallow. Beautiful one-handed pick-up by number 24. Bennell in support. Those two on a couple of seasons under their belt, now playing alongside each other. So they know each other well. Bullen's back with Rory Thompson. He goes out wide, and Sam Day takes a mark out in front of him. Just back where the ball started from, underneath the commentary position.
Taken 10 marks tonight, Sam Day, so that's really encouraging for the Suns coaching staff that Sam's been managed to take 10 marks.
Horsley picks the ball up, the ball quickly to boot. Now a chance to Riskatelli. Matera on his inside. Matera left foot snap, 25 metres out, and that's back-to-back goals there for the Gold Coast Suns.
Very impressive there, Brandon Matera. We know he can finish off. He's a quality young player, and we've seen a lot of that in his first 2 years in the system. On his left foot, threads it through. And the Suns get another one back, 5-6-36 to the Sydney Swans, 9-13-67.
Pick that margin back to 31 points. Certainly well and truly hang around the 40 points there for too long there, Steve.
It was. It's good to see, as we said, these NAB Cup matches, they're practice matches, and you can get something out of every bit of play here. So it's important that they finish off the game strongly here tonight.
Well, as they did last week. So, I mean, that is a good sign, but you don't want teams getting away. But if you know that you've got capabilities there fitness-wise to run out the game, if the margin's a little bit narrow when you start your comeback, and then better things will happen.
Probably wasn't as slow a start, well, it was on the scoreboard, but the game was pretty tight early, so it wasn't if the Swans got a jump on them. But it was certainly tight on the scoreboard.
Suns go forward again. O'Meara trying to stand his ground there. Might have been a Swallow, try to take the mark. Ball now in a pack situation, centre half forward. Players looking around for the support from the umpire from both teams. Jared Brennan saying, Rampy held the ball in. I want the free kick. Umpire Chris Cameron disagrees, so I'll be throwing the ball up. Still another scoring opportunity. Great Swans crowd, a little bit quiet at the moment as the Suns certainly finishing full of running.
Might have been Dan Gorringe there in the ruck that got the hit out down to Harley Bennell.
So Harley brings up his third goal of the NAB Cup campaign, his second goal tonight. Kicked a goal in the second term, now in the fourth quarter. So the Suns close the gap once again at 6-6-42. Sydney Swans 9-13-67. We've played 16.5 minutes. See what reaction this comes from John Longmire. No doubt he would have wanted a strong finish by the Swans.
There's no doubt the players have got some confidence out of the finish in Townsville last week, and real confidence in the high performance program. Stephen Schwert, we know, produces big, tough and fit sides, and there's some evidence of that tonight.
Well, there's another chance here. Day has the ball back to O'Meara. Got the original clearance, followed the ball down. Jager O'Meara, and that would have been a wonderful goal. He just misses to the left-hand side, so a minor score there to the Gold Coast. And Jager O'Meara appears on the score sheet for the first time, albeit with a minor score. So 43 plays 67. Margin back within 4 goals here in the fourth quarter. Sydney with the ball on the outer side. And off the hands there of Mumford. So, in fact, the ball might have gone out of bounds before it reached the hands of Mumford. So, free kick. Here going to Martin. Squares it up. Need the big fly from Dixon. He got front of square to Matera. He was strongly tackled, though, on that occasion. Ball ends up with Malcheski over a teammate there in Reece Shaw. Once again, the ball dribbles out towards that half-back line. This time, Sydney do keep it in. They just pummel the ball forward. They don't want the Suns attacking them too much at this late stage. Warnock, though, time to pick it up. Murphy, as now's the ball once again. Tommy Murphy looking for a way clear. Goes out wide there to Wilkinson. Couldn't quite trap the ball. And the ball goes over the line.
That last, I suppose, scuffle inside the forward 50 there, they really need to hold the ball inside 50 there, the Suns. The good sides do it often. When there's a 50-50 ball to win, if you can't win it, you've at least got to nullify the contest and then cause a stoppage.
So the ball back in the centre of Blacktown as Jared Brennan elects to go the handball this time to Matera. He's got space to run from just inside the centre square. Look, spots up. Dixon held his position well, but tackled high. Umpire call play on. Hall goes now to ground. Ball's underneath him. Probably needs to get rid of it. Dixon goes in battling there once again for the Gold Coast. It's a tired Aaron Hall gets up on that occasion. As Sydney send the ball out through Reece Shaw. Reid comes up the back of the pack. Brennan keeps the ball in, fakes the dummy inside. Ball ends up with Horsley. Horsley now once again to the hot spot at the top of the square. Need the big flyers.
No one down for the Suns. Swans will clear this and have Bolton free on the outer side.
And they do so. So the veteran Jude Bolton takes the mark. Let's see what the Swans is. Jesse White now runs towards the half-back flank. But Jude Bolton couldn't quite find the target, but White does keep the ball there on the bounce. Back to Everett. Everett now sends the ball across the half forward. They're looking there for Josh Kennedy. Reed's also there. Outnumbered. There's more White jumpers, but Kennedy busts through the pack, goes into the open goal and seals it for Sydney late in the final term with the Swans' 10th goal. And also Josh Kennedy's second goal of the night. In fact, he kicked the first goal of the match. So he too brings up 2 goals. And Sydney 10-13-73, Gold Coast 6-7-43.
Jack Martin just coming off clutching his elbow there, so hopefully he's okay. We'll keep you updated on that as soon as we can get some info from the Suns bench. Doesn't look too bad, but just his right elbow there, he seems to be favouring that as Jared Brennan comes on to replace him. He's had a good night out, Jack Martin. Certainly showed everyone watching tonight that he's got a player of the future. He's had
disposal as they stand.
Yeah, he's picked up, as we scroll through the stat sheet, 7 disposals. He had 5 kicks and 2 handballs, but it's probably been his excitement and his speed around the ground that's been impressive for Jack.
Aaron Hall also receiving some treatment on his legs at the moment. Sydney through Park with the centre clearance, looking dangerous once again. Josh Kennedy spending a bit of time on the forward line now, later stages of this fourth quarter. As the kick came out of the Suns' defence.
Might be a result of the forced changes early in the second half, in the first half there for the Swans, which is why Kennedy might be moved forward to finish off this game.
Yes, Alex Johnson coming off the leg injury, and Craig Bird with a knock to the head. So to make some early substitutions, the reigning premiers. Jesse White now has the ball in his hands here underneath us on the broadcast side. Likes to go long, big pack form. Plenty of Suns there, of course, in their new clash trip for season 2013, Steve.
Certainly are. 2 times you, the new apparel sponsor for the Gold Coast Suns this year, and the clash trip's been very popular with fans. I know the merchandise shop's been selling quite a number of the new clash strips. They're very popular.
As Jude Bolton has a snapshotted goal from almost 50 metres out, and once again just through for the minus score. 74 now plays 43. Suns here, good play and pick up, get over the half century before the final siren. They're going to come inboard here through, on that occasion, Broughton goes by hand back to Harley Bennell. Play goes out the outer side, picked up by Weller. Showing a bit of dash there, but forced to turn back there from the Swans' defence.
Didn't have much forward there, Matt Weller.
Harley Bennell, he does go by hand there to Swallow. Back to Weller, but his kick slid off the boot. That was good defensive work there by Lewis Jetta there on the outer side.
Swans, as they always do, get back in numbers, and Dan Gorringe and Sam Day were outnumbered there, and the Suns deciding to hold on to the ball where possible.
Dixon doing battle there in the ruck, over the back there, Bennell looking for the clearance. Instead it falls to Bolton, picked up eventually by Charlie Dixon. Sends the ball inside 50 for the Gold Coast. Day had the front position. Jared Brennan goes diving after the ball. Rampy, little toe poke through. O'Meara's there. Good vision. Spot up Harley Bennell. In turn, Lonigan forced outside. He's attacking 50. Waiting for the handball there was Broughton, but undone by the work of Andreas Everett. As the ball now ends up in the centre of the ground. Reid, free kick given away on that occasion. Unlucky by Broughton. And the free kick will go to Kieran Jack in the centre of the ground here at Western Sydney.
Charlie Dixon certainly giving it his all here in the second half. And as we speak, actually running down, sprinting down to the back half to pick up the big Mumford down there.
So the forced to wait there was Kieran Jack. And certainly he does look set for a pretty good season 2013. Ball goes out wide. Wilkinson affects the ball there ahead of Kennedy. Dixon out there helping as well. Close to the boundary line, McVeigh corralled there by Aaron Hall. Got the handball away though to Ryan O'Keefe. O'Keefe now switches play to his right boot towards the hot spot. Oh, good work there. Daniel Gorrin's been helped with one hand. Still got the kick away. Horsley as play now just held up on centre half forward. No player really forward of the centre circle, so the Suns are flooding back, and there's about 6 red and white jumpers just inside the centre square there, just making a line across. Malcheski it is. He's going to take a long range at goal, and it's something he does like to do, Steve. He's already kicked 2 tonight. This one from just inside the centre square, a 60-metre roosted across the line, not quite. Parker's there, front and square though, picks up the crumbs and puts in another goal through for Sydney.
Too good there, the Swans.
Picks up his first of the night. And it's the Swans 11th. So 11-14-80. Gold Coast Suns 6-7-43. So after a mini challenge, the Suns got 3 unanswered goals. The Swans have hit back late in the fourth term.
24-point margin, I think it was, and now out to 37, which is disappointing. Joel Wilkinson's just come off the ground here. He's had a big night, Joel, chasing a lot of tail down that back half. We know he's an extremely fit player, but he's had a big night chasing a lot of ball down there, and he certainly earned a spell here tonight.
Well, they came here tonight to test themselves against the reigning premiers. They brought 8 premiership players back in. They had 19 of the 22 playing tonight. It certainly has been a stern test for the Suns, but hopefully I'll learn by that, and of course come back in round 2 at the SCG. Let's go to Jason. We've got some more messages. I'll just say, in fact, before we do, the ball does go down the Suns forward line. Brennan from an impossible angle has a snapshot of goal, and eventually just through for the minor score. Jason Sintime. We've just social media.
Yeah, we've just heard from Michael Whiting, AFL writer, that the Gold Coast will be hosting Melbourne at Southport next Saturday from 11:30 a.m. So there you go, a game for Gold Coast fans on the Gold Coast.
Fish, he's all across it, Fish, well done.
So Southport, and we're playing against Melbourne, the Demons.
A really good final hit out it'll be for the Suns heading into round 1 against St Kilda. Great opportunity against Melbourne at Southport, and for all the Gold Coast Suns fans who came along in force, I think 2,500 walk-ups there to round 1 of the NAB Cup, they'll be able to get to Southport next week.
So the final siren rings here at Blacktown, and in the end it is a comfortable win to the reigning premiers, 11-14-80 over the Gold Coast Suns, 6-8-44, margin of 36 points. Goal kickers for Sydney. 2 goals apiece to Nick Malcheski coming on as a sub there in the second term. Kicked those 2 goals in the second quarter. 2 goals as well to Josh Kennedy and Adam Good before he was subbed off. The rest are all singles. Kieran Jack, Tony Armstrong, Ben McGlynn, Jude Bolton and Luke Parker. And for the Gold Coast, 2 goals apiece to Harley Bennell and Campbell Brown. And then singles to Jared Brennan and also Brandon Batira. Swans winning by 36 points here at Blacktown on this Saturday night, week 3 of the NAB Cup. But quick summary, Gold Coast Suns, what they'll take away from this night tonight, Steve Wilson.
Yeah, look, there's a little bit to take away. I think the form of Jager O'Meara, he'll certainly get a lot of confidence out of that heading into round 1 of the 2013 season. Jack Martin, he's played 3 games now in the NAB Cup. There's plenty to like about him, and it's certainly something that Suns fans who watch the NEFL throughout the year will enjoy, his skill and his pace. Sam Day up forward, taking 10 grabs tonight, so that'll be really good. That's really good for Sam, who's struggled probably to hold a number of marks in the early stage of the pre-season. So to take 10 tonight is very good for him. And also, you look through the list, Michael Riscatelli back, first game back, 16 possessions, so got amongst it, but David Swallow also with 17. So there's a bit to like there for the Suns. Very disappointing, though, during the second quarter. That's probably why the margin reflects what it is tonight, but for probably 2.5 quarters at least against the competition's best, the Suns challenged really hard.
And that's what Guy McKenna said. If they just reduce those lapses and stay in the game a lot longer. And
certainly those parts when the opposition tend to get that run on is where the Suns need to learn to slow the game down and also get it back on top and nullify the contest.
Thanks for your work tonight, and also you, Jason Sintone. Thank you very much for looking after the social media there tonight for the Gold Coast Suns.
Well done, Brownie. Great job, Willow.
Thank you.
And also thanks once again to Fox Footy and the AFL for making this broadcast possible tonight on the website and club pages, including Suns TV. So look forward to Southport next Saturday morning. It'll be 11:30am local time when the Gold Coast Suns have their final practice match against the Melbourne Demons there on the Gold Coast. But for now, from Blacktown here, this is Andrew Brown wishing you all a very good night.